What's going on, guys? Optical 20 here for another Hot Toys video review. This time it's an older figure, Deadpool, from Hot Toys, and it's sold out, but you can purchase other Hot Toys figures at bigbadtoystore.com. Just click the link in the description and we'll start off with a box. You might ask, why did it take me so long to get or review this Deadpool figure? I just got this last week, believe it or not. It was on wait list. Then I got an email saying it's available, so I decided to pick it up. I was on the fence on Deadpool because of so many reasons. Quality control is the main factor of me not picking him up. The box is excellent, as you saw right there. You know, you've probably seen tons of videos of this one, but I would say this is the most recent batch. I don't know how many batches there are, second batch, third batch, but Sideshow just contacted me and basically said they had one left. I guess somebody pre-ordered or is trying to do a payment plan and decided not to go through it. So but yeah, I guess all the minor quality control issues are fixed as far as this release is concerned, so that's why I decided to pick them up. I always loved the movie. I love the as you can see here from the back, it's a pretty good pose. I love the character. It's just that there's so many issues that kind of scared me away from getting the figure, and now that I finally have it, I couldn't be any happier. As you can see here, he comes with a bunch of hands, and those are not the boring hands that you always get from any Hot Toys figure. You know what I'm talking about, the relaxed hands, fisted hands, and kind of these are fun hands. As you can see right there, you got this hand, which is the basic one, the gun holding hand, and the sword hand. Those two are the sword hands. Yeah, this one wields the gun because he has dual guns, but other than that, the hands that you see are pretty fun. He got the pointy hands where you can kind of imitate what he did in the movie. I would say the OK hand, which you can use in various different forms. It's up to your imagination how to use them. The thumbs up hand, pointy hand. He just doesn't have the hands that's inappropriate hand, but you can get that from eBay if you really wish to do so. But these are fun hands, I'm telling you right now. Deadpool's such a fun character, and it comes in this plastic clamshell. And I don't know how you guys store your accessories. I don't know if you leave them on the box, but having this plastic clamshell that you can take out helps out a lot, because I keep mine in a shoebox, so I just throw them out there, and they're fine. And I know they're from Deadpool. And he comes with two guns, two Desert Eagles, which are pretty cool. They're not die cast or anything. They don't need to be. They have some articulation. As you can see, there's a rail on the top, and if you take this one out, you can even see the bullet right there in the chamber, which is on the magazine clip. You can take this out. I just couldn't. I barely have any fingers right now, but you definitely could. There's a lot of details in this gun. Pretty cool. It's one of those figures. I know it's still pretty new. I would say this is almost a year old. The first one that I saw, when I was always keep an eye on this figure, but like I said, with all the negative feedback, and mostly are positive because how cool the figure is. It's just the quality control issues. But now I guess some of it are fixed. When I got this, one pouch was unglued. It's pretty easy. These are die-cast swords, by the way, which are pretty awesome. It had some little curve into it. But going back to the figure, it has an unglued pouch, not pouch, but the flap of the pouch, which is no big deal. Just get a dab of glue or fabric glue and kind of dab it in there. But other than that, what scared me the most was the wrist issue. And then I know what I'm looking for, so when I got the figure, I did I changed hands a lot, trying to see what's going on with the cuff, but it looks like it's fine, at least on this release. It looks like the opening on the hands are slightly bigger on mine, so it doesn't create any friction whatsoever on his sleeve. So hopefully it does last. But I had so much fun reviewing a figure. I've never had one in a while until I got Deadpool. And as you can see here, this is his where he placed his sword on his back, and it's also magnetized, which is pretty cool. It's pretty awesome that they had this feature. Stop doing it with Captain America. I'm glad that they went this route and not the clip kind of thingy. And this is one thing that's really cool about the figure is the interchangeable eyes. Pretty neat feature. Something that they haven't really done before. They had interchangeable hands as far as magnet hands with Spider-Man, but I'm glad that they incorporated this, and it's a perfect fitting for the character. His eyes are so expressive. He doesn't really have a head sculpt, and this kind of seals the deal for me. Whenever I get and he has a pretty cool stand as well, a dynamic stand. So you can see there Deadpool, and the design, it even has this protective film so it doesn't scratch his logo in the middle. And stand feels great. It's a normal dynamic stand, nothing too fancy. So let me check this out. It looks, it's okay. You're not gonna scratch it or anything, but I'm gonna put it back if I decide to sell this one. And then this is the Bendy Stand that we've all seen before. And I just want to do a quick comparison, because what happens is that I was trying to get, I don't know if it's Zod's or Spider-Man stand, put it on Deadpool, because I don't really use this dynamics and they take up a lot of space. I keep them, I keep them outside, so when I'm trying to take a picture or whatnot, I bust them out, but it won't fit on the Deadpool. I don't know why. For some reason, it's kind of loose. So what I did was I just used the Deadpool, and you can see it is shorter than both Spider-Man and Zod's stand right there. But as far as the texture, as the actual, this one is in there. I don't know if you can take it out perhaps, but the Spider-Man you could take out, and it feels really cheap. It's just a carton box. And I know why it's that, because their exclusive edition you can switch it out, but I like the Deadpool one better. It feels more premium, I would say. For $250, it should feel premium, all of them. And the texture is nicer. The Deadpool is a bit embossed. General Zod is just special altogether. I wish they would do this better, like more than Deadpool, because it gives you, I guess it feels more special in that sense. And as far as the figure itself, we can see the actual figure. It's amazing. The suit that he does have is the texture, the feel of it is great. It doesn't hinder any articulation. I'm pretty sure it does, but just by looking at this figure, you would think that he would have a limited range. But he really doesn't. I'm glad. I'm sure it kind of hinders it at one point, that you can't raise the hand all the way up. Why would you even do that anyway? I mean, with what he does have, I am extremely happy. And the look, the aesthetic of the figure is great. You can see that's the throwing blades that he does have, and supposedly it should come in the front, but it looks like his front is there's already in there, so it only serves as a display option now. It would have been cool if you can actually put those things inside, but you can't. But no big deal. And you can see the material that they used. It's pretty nice. I don't know if it resembles. It does look like it's the same material that they used on the film, but like I mentioned, I am really happy. I'm just ecstatic how it turned out. This is a big surprise for me, because I thought he was gonna have limited range of motion. I know he doesn't after all the reviews. It's been a year anyway. But him and Batman from Batman Superman, I thought those two figures, which could be runner-up, it depends on how you look at it. I still give the figure of the year last year to Batman, just because he's Batman. And Batman's bigger than Deadpool, but at least in my opinion. But they both offer so much for the price that they originally came on. So it was a good year last year for figures. There's some duds, of course, but when you get, see that pouch right there, that's what I'm talking about. Two things Hot Toys needs to address is their glue. It sucks, and their batteries. They gotta address those two things. I mean, come on, man. You're selling toys or action figures or collectible, however you want to call it, for a fortune, and you can't even get this right. I mean, it's unacceptable, really, for the price that we're paying for this figures. It's not like we're buying Marvel Legends or anything like that. And as you can see, the wrist right there, it looks like it's tucked in nicely now. I don't know, for some reason, I guess I've watched Clipper King and I believe it's D Knight, some reviews that they kind of mentioned why it's happening and what the root cause is. So this is one of, I guess, the advantages if you wait, is you kind of wait for the wave. But at the same time, had it not been opened had I not have the email, I'm not willing to pay $300 for Deadpool. I'm just not. There's gonna be Deadpool 2 just around the corner. Who knows if he's gonna change his outfit. It's probably gonna include a second head sculpt, but I'm okay with this. I'm always I'm always kind of iffy about part 2s of movies, and Deadpool 1 was really great. That it's gonna be hard to top, so I don't know if that turns. I hope it turns out to be good, because I do love the franchise, and I think it's funny and it's different. But if it doesn't, well, even if it does, it's still, this figure is a good representation of Deadpool 1, regardless of what he does in his next movie. You can see there, that's how you snap it on. And luckily for me, I know I watched Clipper King's review multiple times on Deadpool, and he mentioned something on the top of his shirt. I guess the zipper was you can see it and whatnot. At least on mine, it's kind of tucked in. So like I said earlier, there's advantages and disadvantages of waiting. So I guess these are one of them. Disadvantage: if something's wrong with this figure and I try to return them, I'm pretty sure I won't have any replacement parts or anything like that. So but like I said, even if it doesn't, if it happens to be where it's not, I'm okay. I'm at peace with it, because I know I'm still gonna have another crack at Deadpool. As fun as it is, I did miss like 10 months of it though, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. And as far as the head sculpt, it's amazing. You can kind of see the ear, like the shadow of the ear. You kind of see it right there. His jawline, his mouth. It looks like he's talking as well. The mask is sculpted, so it doesn't have the same fabric as the suit. I don't know if they could have done it the same way, perhaps, but I'm guessing it's more tedious that way. But I wish they did, for consistency's sake, However, I don't know how well it would translate in the head sculpt department. I guess if you do something like that, the fabric needs to be thinner than the one in his body. But again, if you do that, then you won't create the same consistency. So I don't know. I don't have an answer, but I wish they would have done something like that. Find a good medium between the two. I'm sure they could come up with this. This is their job. But I'm happy. Don't get me wrong. I'm really happy with how it turned out. The swappable eye plates are amazing. Best feature so far that I've seen on this figure. They should do that more often, but then again, you can only do that on certain figures. You can get away with it, but it's like this one. You can see I'm using the magnet, but it's not being taken out. It's the first time that I'm replacing it, so I'm guessing that it's still pretty tough. So, but I eventually took it out anyway. And here you go. This is the guy. I'm gonna give you some hands and eyes. These are the wide open eyes. So kind of like he's shocked or something like that. I call it the shock pose. His eyes are wide open. Hands on his mouth, kind of like he got shocked. And this is the squinty eyes expression. So kind of like face palming himself there. Like I said, it's a really fun figure to have. And it's your imagination. And the good thing is you can mix and match these eyes. You're not limited to, let's say you have the squinty eyes right now. That, see, once you take out the first time, it's a breeze right after that. And I love this feature. I can't stress this enough. Like I said, reminds me of Amazing Spider-Man 2, the magnet hands. This one's cooler as well. You can see that. You just snap it out and put that in, and it looks like he's winking. You see, it's your imagination. It's gonna run wild with this figure, with other figures as well. And one of my favorite poses, and you've seen this a lot, maybe on Instagram or whatnot. One of the funnier poses that he can pull off. And with he had double jointed elbows, which is, you can easily do that. I'm surprised even the nature of the material that they used for his outfit is amazing. I guess I can put that in the same category like Spider-Man. Amazing Spider-Man 2. The same way you can do several poses with it without the fear of ripping the suit. Now, with him, is it gonna rip apart down the line? Perhaps. I don't know. If you live in a more humid country, or more tropical, would it flake? Hot Toys has a long history of flaking, so it might. Nothing lasts forever. However, my Bane still is pretty good. My Catwoman's still pretty good. But then again, I live in a place where I live in Chicago, so we got our heat is not too much. Our cold are a little colder than usual, but for the most part, once you're inside the house or in the basement where my collections are at, so that's a controlled temperature right there. But I can see the concern if you are somewhat in the tropical country, because this guy is made out of a suit that's about to peel. It has all the writings that it's gonna peel. Give me the OK sign on both hands. I like this pose. As far as height comparison is concerned, you got Captain America of Age of Ultron and Amazing Spider-Man 2. They look pretty decent, pretty much in scale. So if you, that's the beauty of Deadpool, is that he's not a part of any group. He might be maybe X-Force, but right now in the cinematic universe, regards to Marvel or Fox, he's a standalone guy, and you can display him by himself or with Spider-Man, or with Wolverine for that matter. But he can interact with any other, heroes or villains in your collection, because he's Deadpool. That's the beauty of this figure, is that you won't get bored. The limits are your imagination on how you want to pose him, take pictures of him, or how to display him. It's really up to you. There you go. But as far as the figure itself, I can't. I'm sure there's a lot of flaws, but as far as my figure, I didn't find any yet outside of that pouch, which is I'm perfectly okay with. I was able to fix it right away. So far so good. So until I see any defects or things of that nature, then I'll let you guys know. But by now, almost a year after it's released, if I'm gonna know something new, I should have known it by now. I'm always keeping an eye on his forums, and whatnot. But I guess the storm has passed. If you can pick this guy up for kind of cheap. So like I said earlier, Deadpool 2 is just around the corner. It's gonna come out, but it doesn't mean that Hot Toys is gonna release their figure as well. It might take 2 more years. See Drax and Hulkbuster and all that. So you never know. But I wouldn't say there's a possibility. It's a guarantee that they're gonna release Deadpool 2. So I wouldn't overpay for Deadpool 1. Maybe the most I would pay for one, if you ask me right now, if you go to eBay or forums or whatever groups that you're in, maybe $250 max. That is the top dollar money that I'm willing to shell out for a Deadpool. Would you get $250 used or new? It's probably going to be used, to be quite honest with you. And I think with this kind of figure, buying it used would be more beneficial, because at least that it's not going to have, around this time, it's not going to have those issues. If it didn't had any issues with the wrist from the previous owner, then you kind of know you got a second batch, because they don't really they don't announce if you get the first batch or second batch on the box. They don't announce it like that. So at least you would know firsthand from the previous owner that it is used. So this is how you kind of put the sheath on his back, by the way. So if you're using this dynamic stand, of course it's gonna be in the way, so you put the stand first on his waist or wherever it is that you put him, and then you put the sheath. However, with this type of figure, with this type of material, I don't say, you can pull off these poses, don't get me wrong, but I wouldn't leave them like this, like in this pose, for a long period of time. Only because of the material of his suit. I don't want it to crack. I don't want to put too much stress on it. So if you're just gonna take a picture or display it for a little bit, maybe a day or two tops, you know, so you got some visitors and you're trying to impress them. I don't know what kind of visitors you could have to be impressed with Deadpool, but yeah, if you just want to take a picture, you know, just post it online real quick. Yeah, give him a post. But for the most part, what I would suggest, and this is just a suggestion, you leave him in this kind of pose, you know, the museum pose. But hey, it's your figure, you do what you want to do. All right, it's just a suggestion, so not too much, so much stress on the joints, not per se on the joints, but on the fabric of his suit. But life is short, man. If you want to display Deadpool all cramped up, hey, so be it. You know, for me, he's gonna be a museum pose until I bust him out, take some pictures, have fun with him, go, you know, play with him, you know, touch him. I'm sure he loves that. But yeah, don't be afraid. You know, with the suit, it looks like it's coming back if you crease them. However, I'm scared of the flaking issue, but just to be on the safe side, that's what I suggest. So thank you for watching, guys. I know it's an older figure, but I hope you enjoyed it. If you do so, please like or subscribe to my videos. You can share it. The more views I get, it actually just motivates me more to buy, you know, more figures to review, and it's a passion of mine. So again, thank you for watching. If you have any questions or concerns, just hit me up in the comment section. Also follow me on Instagram, and I'm also on Facebook. So I'll see you next time.